There's a 2012 Fisker Karma sitting in a garage somewhere in Houston, Texas. Its owner calls it beautiful but dead. The hybrid battery has given up completely. The unique exhaust muffler, which looks like a pizza box, can't be replaced anywhere. Even specialist shops are stripping parts off of other dead Karmas just to keep a few running. It's a gorgeous $100,000 paperweight. Meanwhile, in Austria, there's a perfectly maintained BMW 6 Series that started life as a Fisker Latigo CS. Same drivetrain, same Mercedes or BMW service network, same readily available parts, but wrapped in Henrik Fisker's stunning design. Guess which one is still driving today? This is the story of Henrik Fisker, one of automotive history's most gifted designers who created some of the most beautiful cars ever built, but who made the same catastrophic mistake twice, trying to reinvent the wheel instead of just making it prettier. Spoiler alert, it didn't go well. Twice. The design genius. Let's be clear about one thing from the start. Henrik Fisker is a design genius. Born in Denmark in 1963, he started sketching cars after seeing a Maserati Bora as a kid. By age 26, he was at BMW Technic working on concepts that would reshape automotive design. The BMW Z8, that's Fisker, one of the most beautiful roadsters ever made, channeling the classic 507 while looking absolutely contemporary. The Aston Martin DB9, oh yes. Also Fisker, so timelessly elegant, it stayed in production for 12 years virtually unchanged. These weren't just pretty cars, they were automotive poetry written in aluminum and steel. But here's where Fisker gets really interesting. After leaving Aston Martin in 2005, he did something brilliant. He started Fisker Coachbuild. Remember Coachbuilding? That glorious era when you'd buy a chassis and have craftsmen build you something unique on top of it? Fisker brought that back to the 21st century. The Fisker Tramonto was a Mercedes SL55 AMG underneath, all 600 plus horsepower of it. But with Fisker's sculptural bodywork starting at around $175,000, you got Mercedes reliability, Mercedes parts availability, Mercedes service network, but wrapped in something absolutely nobody else had. The Latigo CS, same concept, but based on a BMW 6 Series. Want the M6 V10? No problem. That's what the platform was designed for. Here's the brilliant part. Customers had to buy the base car first, register it, and then send it to Fisker for transformation. This meant no crash testing, no EPA certification, no massive regulatory hurdles, just pure design artistry applied to proven engineering. Only 150 of each model would ever be built. It was the perfect business model for Henrik Fisker. Let BMW and Mercedes handle the boring stuff like making cars that actually work. He handled making them beautiful. The first mistake, Fisker Automotive. But apparently making beautiful, reliable cars on proven platforms wasn't enough for Henrik Fisker. In 2007, he made his first massive mistake. He abandoned the coach building model that played to his strengths and decided to become a car manufacturer instead. Enter Fisker Automotive and the Karma, a plug-in hybrid luxury sedan that was, without question, absolutely stunning. But instead of building it on an existing platform like the Tramonto and Latigo, Fisker decided to create everything from scratch. Here's where it gets juicy. Tesla had hired Fisker to do the initial design work on the Model S. When Tesla rejected his designs, calling them terrible and like a giant egg, Fisker went off and created his own company, announcing the Karma just a few months later. Tesla sued, claiming Fisker had stolen their secrets. Plot twist, Tesla lost the lawsuit and had to pay Fisker $1.14 million in legal fees. The arbitrator found overwhelming evidence that Fisker had done nothing wrong. But here's the thing, maybe Tesla had a point. Not just about the theft, maybe their designs really were terrible for what Tesla needed, a mass production electric car. But they were perfect for what Fisker should have been doing, low volume handcrafted luxury. Instead of learning from this, Fisker doubled down on the worst possible approach. The Karma used a bespoke platform, a unique hybrid system, custom everything, and when the battery supplier A123 Systems went bankrupt in 2012, guess what happened? Fisker couldn't get batteries. Production stopped, and game over. But here's the real kicker, and this proves my entire point. While Fisker Automotive was collapsing, Bob Lutz and VL Automotive were buying up leftover Karma gliders, cars without powertrains, and dropping Corvette LS9 V8 engines into them. They called it the VL Destino, and it was everything the Karma should have been: 638 horsepower, 200 mile per hour top speed, reliable GM powertrain, and 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. The VL Destino proved that the Karma's beautiful body was never the problem. It was trying to reinvent the entire car that killed it. The brief return to sanity. Here's where the story gets really interesting. After Fisker Automotive's spectacular failure, Henrik Fisker briefly returned to what he did best. He joined VL Automotive, which became VLF Automotive. The F was for Fisker, as head of design and product strategy. Bob Lutz, the legendary GM executive, understood what Fisker should have understood all along. Use proven powertrains, proven platforms, focus on the design and luxury experience. The VLF Destino was exactly what the Fisker Karma could have been if Fisker had stuck to his coach building roots. But even this was a half measure. VLF was limited to converting existing Karma bodies. What if Fisker had applied this thinking from the beginning? What if the Karma had been built on a proven BMW or Mercedes platform from day one with a proven hybrid system? Think about it. The Karma's stunning design on a BMW 5 Series hybrid platform, BMW parts, BMW service network, BMW reliability, but with Fisker's unmistakable style, it might have cost more up front, but it would have actually worked. It would have been serviceable and probably still be in production today. The Tesla opportunity that never was. But here's where the story gets really tragic, because there was one opportunity that could have changed everything, not just for Fisker, but for the entire luxury car industry. By 2016, Tesla had established itself as the undisputed leader in electric vehicles. The Model S was outselling everything in its class. Tesla had the charging network, the over-the-air updates, the autonomous driving technology, but there was one thing Tesla didn't have. Pizzazz, baby. Tesla's designs were clean, efficient, and modern, but they weren't emotional. They didn't make your heart skip a beat like the Fisker design did. This should have been Henrik Fisker's moment of clarity. Don't compete with Tesla, collaborate with Tesla. Imagine if Fisker had approached Elon Musk with a different proposition. Let me be your coach builder. Take a Model S or Model X platform, all that incredible technology, that proven electric powertrain, the charging network, the service infrastructure, and wrap it in a Fisker body. A Fisker-designed Tesla could have commanded $150,000 to $200,000 easily. Think about it. Tesla performance, Tesla technology, Tesla reliability, and service network, but with the emotional impact of a true Fisker design. It would have been like the luxury equivalent of what companies like Brabus do for Mercedes or what Alpina does for BMW. The wealthy buyers who were paying $200,000 plus for Range Rovers and Bentleys would have lined up for a Tesla with Fisker's design magic. Instead of trying to build car companies that would inevitably fail, Fisker could have become the world's premier electric vehicle coach builder. The second mistake, Fisker Inc. Instead, Henrik Fisker made the exact same mistake again. In 2016, he founded Fisker Inc. and decided to, wait for it, build another car company from scratch. The Fisker Ocean was supposed to be different. This time, he'd outsource manufacturing to Magna, the company that builds cars for BMW and others. The Ocean would be affordable, starting at under $40,000. It would have a solar panel roof. It would be built on sustainable principles. None of that mattered because Fisker Inc. repeated every single mistake of Fisker Automotive, just with different branding. The Ocean launched with over 100 different loss of power incidents. Customers were getting locked inside their cars when key fobs failed. Brake problems triggered NHTSA investigations. Over-the-air software updates were bricking 20% of vehicles. Some customers couldn't even get into their cars after software updates failed. One owner reported having to buy a new key fob battery every month. Another owner in Philadelphia couldn't drive their Ocean for 8 months because of a faulty key fob that couldn't be fixed. The navigation system would randomly place owners in Alaska, and no, that wasn't a clever Easter egg for the planned Fisker Alaska pickup truck. But here's the really damning part. Fisker Inc. didn't stockpile spare parts. When something broke, customers waited months for repairs while parts were pinched from the Austrian production line. CEO Henrik Fisker's own Ocean was cannibalized for parts to fix other customers' cars. In June 2024, exactly 11 years after the first Fisker Automotive bankruptcy, Fisker Inc. filed for bankruptcy. The company had burned through over $1 billion and delivered fewer than 5,000 Ocean SUVs. Today, Ocean owners are organizing support groups to help each other maintain cars that the manufacturer has essentially abandoned. The graveyard of beautiful machines. Drive through any affluent neighborhood in America today, and you might spot one. A gorgeous, low-slung sedan with the unmistakable Fisker design language, parked permanently in a driveway. It's a 2012 Fisker Karma, and the odds are it doesn't run. The hybrid battery packs are dying en masse. Replacement costs are $12,000 to $15,000 if you can find someone to do the work. Many shops have closed. The specialized diagnostic equipment is obsolete. Even basic parts like that unique pizza box exhaust muffler are impossible to find. There's a cottage industry of specialists trying to keep these cars alive. Roush, Illinois has become the go-to shop for Karma battery rebuilds. Evolution Autosports in Pennsylvania can wake up dead vehicle control modules, but it's like performing surgery with Stone Age tools. It's heroic, but ultimately futile. Meanwhile, remember those Fisker Latigo CS coupes built on a BMW 6 Series platform? Most of them are still running perfectly. Why? Because when something breaks, you take it to a BMW dealer. The parts are available, the diagnostic systems work, and the car was built on a platform designed to last. This is the tragedy of Henrik Fisker. He created some of the most beautiful cars ever made, then condemned them to premature death by insisting on building them from scratch instead of using proven foundations. The road not taken. Let's imagine an alternate timeline. It's 2007, and instead of founding Fisker Automotive, Henrik Fisker expands Fisker Coachbuild. The Tramonto and Latigo are selling well to ultra-wealthy consumers who want exclusivity but not headaches. Tesla approaches Fisker not for design work on the Model S, but for a partnership. Fisker becomes Tesla's Coachbuilder, creating limited edition, ultra-luxury versions of Tesla vehicles. A Fisker Model S with handcrafted interior, unique bodywork, and that unmistakable Fisker elegance, priced at $200,000 plus, production limited to 500 units per year. That would sell pretty well, I bet. By 2016, as Tesla's technology matures, Fisker expands the partnership. A Fisker Model X for families who want Tesla's technology, but Ferrari-level exclusivity. A Fisker Roadster that makes supercars jealous. Every car hand-built, every car serviceable at Tesla's extensive network. Every car benefiting from Tesla's continuous over-the-air improvements. Henrik Fisker becomes the Pininfarina of the electric age, the design house that transforms mass production electric vehicles into rolling art. No manufacturing headaches, no battery supplier bankruptcies, no regulatory nightmares, just pure design genius applied to proven technology. The business model writes itself. Customers buy a Tesla, then send it to Fisker for transformation. Tesla handles the warranty, the service, the technology updates. Fisker handles making it beautiful and exclusive. Both companies win. Customers get reliability and beauty. Instead of two bankrupt car companies, Henrik Fisker could have built the world's most prestigious electric vehicle design house. Instead of abandoned Karmas and Oceans rotting away in driveways, there could have been a fleet of Fisker Teslas appreciating in value. The lessons ignored. The most frustrating part of Henrik Fisker's story isn't that he failed, it's that he had the blueprint for success right in front of him and chose to ignore it twice. The Tramonto and Latigo proved the concept worked perfectly. Design, beautiful, proven engineering, exclusive production, premium priced products. Customers got reliability and uniqueness. Fisker got healthy margins without massive capital investment. But Henrik Fisker suffered from the same disease that afflicts many designers, the belief that if you can design something beautiful, you can manufacture it reliably. It's like assuming that because you can write poetry, you can run a printing press. The automotive industry is littered with brilliant designers who thought they could become manufacturers. John DeLorean created one of the most iconic vehicles ever made, then watched his company collapse under the weight of manufacturing realities. Preston Tucker designed a revolutionary car that was decades ahead of its time, then saw his company destroyed by production problems and regulatory hurdles. The difference is that Fisker had a working alternative model. He'd proven it worked with the Tramonto and Latigo. He abandoned success to chase failure, not once, but twice. The modern coach builder. Today's automotive landscape is perfect for a modern Henrik Fisker coach building operation. Tesla has established the electric vehicle template. Their platforms are proven. Their technology is advanced. Their service network is extensive. It's the perfect foundation for a coach builder. But Tesla's designs, while functional, lack soul. They're iPhone beautiful, which means they're clean, modern, and impressive, but they don't stir any emotions the way a true automotive design can. A Fisker-designed Tesla Model S could command Range Rover money while delivering Tesla performance and reliability. Other manufacturers are equally ripe for this approach. Porsche's Taycan is an engineering masterpiece wrapped in conservative styling. Mercedes EQS is technologically advanced, but looks like a melted bar of soap. BMW's electric vehicles are competent, but forgettable and sometimes ugly. A modern Fisker coach builder could transform any of these platforms into something extraordinary. Take a Porsche Taycan chassis, wrap it in Fisker bodywork, handcraft the interior with sustainable materials, limit production to 100 units a year, price it at $300,000. It would sell out immediately. The beauty is that all the hard work, the crash testing, the EPA certification, the manufacturing quality control, the service network is already done by the original manufacturer. Fisker would just add the magic that transforms transportation into inspiration. The final takeaway. Henrik Fisker's story is ultimately a tragedy of misplaced ambition. He possessed one of the rarest talents in the automotive world, the ability to create cars that were both beautiful and emotionally compelling. He kept trying to be something he wasn't, a manufacturing executive, a technology company CEO, a mass production automaker. The irony is that in trying to build car companies, he undermined the very thing that made him special, his design genius. Instead of focusing on creating the most beautiful cars in the world, he spent his time wrestling with battery suppliers, manufacturing partners, and federal regulators. Today, there are thousands of Fisker Karma and Ocean owners who own beautiful, broken cars that may never run properly. But there are a few Fisker Tramonto and Latigo owners who drive their cars regularly and service them at any of their dealerships and enjoy the perfect combination of reliability and exclusivity. Henrik Fisker should have been the Pininfarina of the 21st century, the design house that made mass production cars into works of art. Instead, it became a cautionary tale about the dangers of trying to reinvent the wheel when you're already perfect at making it beautiful. The road not taken could have led to automotive immortality. Instead, we got 2 bankrupt car companies and a lot of very pretty expensive paperweights. Sometimes the best way to revolutionize an industry isn't to tear it down and rebuild it from scratch. Sometimes it's to take what works and make it gorgeous. Henrik Fisker forgot that lesson twice, and the automotive world is poorer for it.